Today is 893rd day to come here to Lessons I Learn. I'm learning. I hope this will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I'm going to speak about openness. How to encourage openness. How to really build openness in any kind of relationship that we have. It could be work relationships. It could be mentee and mentor relationships. It could be intimate relationships. It could be parent and kids relationships. Any kind of relationship requires openness. And today I want to share ideas because this is a topic that I want to improve. I want to learn to really encourage other people to be open with me. That they could feel safe sharing their thoughts, ideas, perspectives, and be vulnerable. Because there's so much advantages when you're able to encourage openness. Because every single person, when they open, that means that if you really want to influence people, first you need to be open to get influenced. Because a lot of times people get closed and they share ideas, and both of them are closed, and they just bounce those ideas out from any, and no one is getting better. But if both of people are open, they have a chance to connect and being able to influence each other. That means that maybe that neither other one will change their mind, but they will be influenced and will be pivot, adjust. They will find a common ground maybe. So that means that being able to find a common ground and finding a way how to encourage openness is very important. So today we'll share the ideas how we potentially could work on that. And of course, that's just the beginning, because I think that I need to work a lot on really being able to be great and creating that openness. And that's why I want to really share ideas today and to see how I will grow in building openness in the future. So first thing, of course, that we need to understand that if we want to encourage openness, we need to lead by example. What I mean by that means that if you want to other people to open up, be vulnerable with you, that means that you need to show example. You need to be really okay, be vulnerable, be open first, and take a risk. Because sometimes maybe we'll share something open, maybe we'll be vulnerable, and maybe some people will reject that and will not hear you. That means, but you need to take a risk and lead by example, because a lot of times people that you will share something vulnerable, will share something personal. Other people will say that, oh, he shared it. He shared something vulnerable. I will do that as well. He's open, I will be as well. So that means that if we want to really create openness, we need to first lead by example. We're not supposed to expect that someone else will start to be vulnerable and open if you're not able to be open. Number two is create a safe place. That means that we want to make sure that when other person is sharing, you're able to create that safe place. That other person feels that there will never be judgment. It doesn't matter what they will say. You will accept what they said no matter what. You will not say, oh, how you can do this? No, like you are open. Okay, that. And I guess because able to really, sometimes asking a question, the same question, but in a different way, could really influence if a person is willing to share and open to share their struggles. Because sometimes when you're coming from curiosity, genuine curiosity, that's, of course, person will be sharing more. But if you just share asking question by really disgusted, well, how you can do this, and by judgmental tonality, of course, they will never open up again. Because one time is really sometimes one time is enough to persons like, this is a person that I could never share my thoughts with, because they never actually understand. They're not able to accept my thoughts, not able to accept where it came from. Because a lot of times when people share, they already did a mistake and they grew, and that's because they grew. Now they're able to share, and we're not supposed to coming out from judgment. It's supposed to come from curiosity and understanding. Number three is active listening. Active listening. So it means that when someone is open and shares something vulnerable, we want to make sure that they understand that we have full 100% attention. We are present. We're able to show with our body, with our words that we say, with our eyes, with everything what we do, we're able to do show that we are listening and able to be compassionate. We have empathy. We really are there for that person. Because active listening is not just about saying things. Active listening is really being able to really be quiet and listen, understand, not respond. But basically, sometimes a lot of times is ask follow-up question on base what they have said. And this is very, very important, really being able to be very good and active listening, because when people hear that you are able to hear them, understand them and trying to understand them, they will really open up even more. Because a lot of times people have some kind of openness, but if you're able to engage in active listening, you're able to open up those doors of vulnerability and openness even more. Number 4 is encourage feedback. Encourage feedback. And that's again, that means that there's a lot of angles of feedback. That means that you're able to ask for feedback. Did you ask the right questions? Did you made them feel open and vulnerable? Because you can ask, maybe I said something wrong that I didn't. Maybe you felt something that I wanted to mean one thing. Because there's one thing that is, we people say things, and but what we mean is different. So that means intention of what we say and really how other person perceives those words are totally different. So sometimes is very, very good to ask for feedback. So what did you feel? What did you think when I asked that question? What I really wanted to get out of it? Because a lot of times we will find that the question was about one thing, but really other person felt so totally different. So being able to connect not just questions but answers, and not just answers but questions, I realized to see that we are on the same page is very, very important. Encourage feedback is essential in really getting that openness in their relationship. Number 5 is respect differences. This is a massive respect differences. That means that when you understand that, when you really build a relationship, and you understand that you are able to respect differences, and it doesn't matter what other people say, you are very grateful about opportunities to share different ideas and respect those ideas. And when people feel that you are a respectful person and that you are grateful about differences, they will share that they're different than you. Now, if you condemn people who are different than you, if they will be a little bit different in some angles, they will never share those angles because they know that you condemn different people than you. So that means that being open, that is saying that I love when people share different ideas. I love when they share things that I do not agree with, because I love opportunity to ask questions and figure out. Because everyone knows that we have blind spots. There's a lot of things that we do not know yet. A lot of things. We think that we know. How many times you thought that you know something very, very well, but after a while you figure out that you never knew. Never knew. There's always something that you was able to improve. So I think that's when you're able to really respect that there is a lot of differences. And a lot of times is you are wrong. Because even though we understand that we believe that we are right, a lot of times that we are not. So respecting others is very essential to really create an openness that people could be open. Number 6 is provide support. And this is very, very important, because when we really want to create openness, some people are struggling to be open. It's very, very hard to be open. People have a tendency to really keep everything for themselves, to really give support and help other people. Sometimes really saying that I appreciate you, that you are being honest and open with me. I know it's very, very hard to share the vulnerable things and really acknowledge and validate that all of the thing that they did, that they opened up, that they're very honest and really share something that is potentially difficult to share. That person feels acknowledged, and that means that he will feel better to share something even more vulnerable. So giving support and allow to say that I understand there is difficult, and you'll allow them to share and give them space to share is very, very important. Number 7 is establish clear communication channels. It means that we're able to really be vulnerable depends on that person, how when they want to communicate, maybe over the phone. Maybe someone is comfortable sharing over the phone, but they are not comfortable seeing each other's eyes. And really ability to really understand where the boundaries and are of a person. Because if a person is not comfortable yet to have face-to-face conversation, and they're not able to have eye contact yet, but they're able to willing to share everything over the phone, that is a great channel to communicate. So it means when you are becoming better and better in communication, you need to understand that some people, you grew a lot, and some people are still in that developing stage, and really understanding that we're able to go where they are and really meet where they are, because leaders don't expect other people to come where they are. Leaders are going where people are. And that is okay, let's go to another level, let's grow, let's improve, let's find a way how we can open up ourselves to really have that amazing communication and amazing conversation. Number 8 is celebrate transparency. This is very, very important to celebrate everything. Celebrate openness, celebrate transparency, celebrate vulnerability, celebrate something that what you appreciate appreciates. If you appreciate openness, openness will appreciate. That means that it's encouraged and it will be more and more of it. So that means we need to really make sure that when you say, I really appreciate that you are transparent. And because when you label that transparency, that is our value, and everyone believe that transparency is a value, of course that person will want to really align with that value, because that's what we value. It's very, very important to understand that what we value during our communication. Number 9 is address conflict constructively. This is one of the things that we need to improve constantly. Look into how we really addressing conflict. And really, this is part of the feedback as well. That means that we address the conflict, but address conflict in a very calm demeanor. That we just finding that we are two people working together to figure out how to deal with this problem. Not like bouncing heads to each other. No, like be able to be a team. We a team working to fix this problem. And of course, when you're able to be a team to fix this problem, of course, people are much more open to hear and share their thoughts openly. Because a lot of times when bouncy heads, like they will share only the arguments. But when you are a team, they will share, okay, how we can solve that. Number 10 is continuous improvement. And this is part, again, this is very, very important. So this means conflict resolution is part of improving the skill set. Openness is a skill set. And every communication is a skill set. We're able to continually improve ourselves, that we could be open and more open, and really communicate in a way that creates more openness and more openness. What works, what doesn't? How we could improve our body language, how we could really ask with different tonality the same question. Because sometimes when you really ask a very fast question, you will get a very fast answer. But if you ask the same question, but with empathy, slowing down and really very thoughtfully, this will trigger other person to think, okay, this question is very, very important. This person is thinking a lot about asking this question. I'm supposed to think it through as well. I'm supposed to make it thoughtful answer as well. So communication is not just about what things you say, but how you say it and why you asking it. It's very, very important to understand. And that is a part of a continuous improvement, because understanding where you need to improve. And when you understand that there is only 7% of communication is words, and then 40% tonality and body language. And when you start working on multiple areas of your life and multiple areas of communication, then of course you're able to create that openness even much more. Number 11 is training and development. That means that again, this is as continuous improvement. We need to understand that we able to really equip not ourselves, but really be able to work very hard to equip other people to be better in communication. So continuous improvement is more about ourselves, but training and development is more about other people. So that means we're working very hard to say, okay, how I could help them to improve. Not saying that they are wrong where they are, but really helping them say that, okay, what do you want? Where do you want to be? Who you want to be? What kind of person you want to become? And let me help you to really take those first steps, because you can do by yourself. That's for 100%. But if I could help you just to be 2% better, maybe achieve a few percent faster the thing that you want, I will do my best to do that. It's very important to really help other people to develop that. Really, that will help not just you, but the other person to communicate better and be open even more. And the last one, number 12, is lead with trust. Lead with trust. That means that this is very, very powerful. It's very hard though, because at the moment we have a living in society, people say like, oh, like it seems that you are already at fault, and you need to prove that you are not at fault. But I think that we're supposed to say that you are innocent until you prove that you are at fault. So it means that we always give trust. We give trust that they will be open, they will be vulnerable, will share honest, transparent truth about where they are. And when you're able to really show that you fully trust them, because you're able to communicate the trust with them. That I truly trust what you said, and I truly trust that you will do what you said you will do. And when you're able to be that trustworthy and really trust other people, I think that people, because I do that for sure, I have become much more open. I am able to share more. I'm able to be more vulnerable. And I think that every single person wants to be trusted because they want you to really show that they are that label that we potentially created in their mind. And I think that's very, very important that leading by trust with trust is one of the doors to open the openness and vulnerability in communication and conversation in relations altogether. So I hope that you reflect as well on how you open right, in other people and become more open by yourself as well in relations, in communication, in different aspects of our lives. Because this is one of the essential things in life to be open. Because relationships is based on openness. If you want to have a deeper conversation, if you want to have deeper relationships, you need to be open to allow so many goodness. Because when you're closed, nothing comes in. No, neither goodness and neither bad things. Because that's why people close, because they don't want any bad things to come. So we need to make sure that we open those doors to understand that there's so much goodness to come in. And only when you open, you're able to allow that goodness in. So I hope that you reflect on that, and you will learn how to become more open and allow other people to become more open. And I hope that you will choose to win, and see you tomorrow.